Well, we asked for an interview with the Justice Secretary, Chris Grayling, but he declined. The Ministry instead offered an interview with the official in charge of prisons in England and Wales, Michael Spurr. I started by asking him why prisoners have cash, weapons, drugs and mobile phones.
Because they smuggle contraband into prison. We spend a lot of time trying to stop that happening, but contraband coming into prisons is a problem in every prison system. And of course they shouldn't have it, and we take robust action when we find it.
Not enough, clearly.
Well, take that Pentonville case. In December, we got intelligence about those cases you were showing from Pentonville. We took action. 3 wings had full searches of them. We identified the contraband. We've dealt with the prisoners involved. Indeed, they've been referred to the police who are dealing with those issues now.
How does it all get in?
It gets in a whole range of ways. As one of the people said on that film, yes, they do throw packages over prison walls for collection.
Well, why can't you stop packages being thrown over the wall? I mean, it's not beyond the wit of man to put up some cameras and guards, is it?
We indeed put cameras up, we put netting up, we do a whole range of things to stop contraband coming into prison. That's one way, through visits is another way,
but why does it fail?
And as was said there, corrupt staff is another way. We're taking action on all those fronts, but getting contraband into prison has so many ways to get in, and prisoners are always looking to outdo us in trying to do that.
Right, so what proportion of this is coming in through corrupt prison officers?
So it's difficult to say what proportion is.
Well, how many have you caught in the last year?
We have disciplined or excluded over 100 staff last year, and 34 staff have been convicted of criminal offences for corruption. We take a no-tolerance approach to corruption. We're looking for it. We work with the police in terms of attempting to identify it.
Prisons are clearly out of control.
Prisons are not out of control.
Well, they are according to these images.
Well,
I mean,
you've seen images of things that in prisons we aim to stop happening, and in the main we do. I'll give you an example.
No, but you can't say in the main we do when thousands of mobile phone and SIM cards are being seized, when drugs are rife. I mean, that's not a situation in control.
Let's take the reality of what we're trying to deal with. Society's changed a lot. We have to deal with threats that are new. You referred in your interview there to synthetic materials, so-called legal highs. They're around in communities. They've been pushed into prisons. They're available for purchase on the streets. People can get them or attempt to get them into prisons. We are battling against that. On the whole, prisons are safe, decent places, but they contain very difficult individuals who try to buck the system, who try to go against the system. Our job is to stop that happening.
Well, both you and the Prison Officers Association then now accept that drugs, weapons, cash and phones are getting in over the wall through corruption because of corrupt prison officers. But the Prison Officers Association also says that they can't do their job now because of the job cuts, the loss of 7,000 staff since 2010. Well,
we have reduced total number of staff. We've also closed 16 prisons. We're recruiting and will have recruited by April 1,700 new staff into establishments. A number of establishments, particularly in the southeast and London, have been short of staff. Pentonville is one of them. We're now targeting establishments to recruit the right numbers of staff.
So how many extra staff will Pentonville get, for example, where some of this...
I don't have Pentonville's immediate figure to hand. Pentonville has a staffing level. We aim to operate at that staffing level, and we're recruiting staff to meet it. Where prisons are below their staffing levels, we've got regimes in place to accommodate the lower staffing level. That doesn't mean no searching. I've just said to you, in Pentonville, you've brought to me evidence from those videos of things going wrong. I'm saying to you, we discovered that before you did. We took action on that. The prisoners involved are being dealt with by the police. We discovered that contraband and took action.
Are you saying it's not going on anymore in Pentonville?
No, I'm not saying it's not going on. I'm saying that there's a constant battle with prisoners attempting to buck the system, to challenge authority, to do illegal things, because that's where they're in prison.
And they will, yes, of course.
And we attempt to stop that, and in most cases do, because staff act incredibly professionally and stop an awful lot of attempts by prisoners to do illegal things.
It's no wonder then, is it, that the number of serious violent incidents has risen so sharply?
I think we're dealing with a very different dynamic now, both with the type of people we receive in prisons, gang members in particular, and this phenomenon of synthetic drugs, legal highs, which are widely available and which can be pushed into prison where the market rate is higher for them.
The truth is you're the victim of Chris Grayling's policies, aren't you?
We're a public service that's having to operate with less funds, but we've looked to do that in a safe and proper way, and actually we're still delivering. Escapes from prison remain historically low. I mean, overall reoffending rates are not as low as we would want them to be, but have been reduced.
But what does he say?
Even more.
I mean, he won't come here tonight. He sent you in his place.
I'm not sure you asked the Secretary of State.
Oh, we did. We asked the Secretary of State first, and that was declined. And the ministry said, you know, we'll send Michael Spurr. And we're very glad that you're here. But what do you say to the minister when you go in and see him? Do you say we don't have enough officers? We've got drugs and cash and weapons in our prisons right now.
Well, to be clear, as I understood it, the Secretary of State has been in a prison today himself. I wasn't aware that you'd asked for him. We only heard earlier today that you were running this piece. I had no conversation with the Secretary of State. I offered to come to speak about the piece because the issues that you're raising are clearly operational. And yes, we're operating with fewer staff, but we're operating in a way that is safe. The issues are not about having a reduction in staff, they're about not having the staff that we need in some prisons.
It's not safe. I recognise you're doing all you can with the resources that you have, but it's not safe, is it? And you don't have enough prison officers.
Prisons are full of a lot of people, as you say, who've committed serious offences. The number of violent people in prison over the last 10 years has increased significantly. Therefore, a prison cannot be completely safe all of the time. No assault is acceptable. Our aim is to run prisons safely. The change, as I've said, in the dynamic of prisoners, the issue about gangs, the issue about drugs, makes prisons difficult places to run, but generally we run prisons safely and decently, and I will stand by that, despite the difficulties and pressures that we currently face.
Michael Spurr, thank you very much indeed.